Ladies and gentlemen, depending on the day or the week, sometimes we get good news, sometimes we get bad news. The Switch 2 has kind of been up and down with how we're receiving information about it, but we finally have confirmed, in my opinion, amazing news, and I think it's going to make 2026 very exciting. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. So over the past 48 to 72 hours, we've been hearing rumors, seeing leaks, all pertaining to game key cards, right? That there's going to be more cartridges coming in 2026. Some of it sounds interesting, some of it doesn't make sense. Now we have it officially confirmed by a publisher, and I think this tells us actually quite a bit more. So we're going to break down all this information. In my opinion, it's very exciting. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep these communities growing. And one more thing. So before we get any further into this video though, I gotta shout out today's sponsor, and that's rushbuy.gg. Rushbuy.gg is an amazing website where you can buy in-game currency for super discounted prices for games like Genshin Impact, PUBG, and a bunch more. But what's really cool about rushbuy.gg is they now offer discounted gift cards. And you guys know I love gaming gift cards. For example, a $10 Nintendo eShop gift card is only $9 at rushbuy.gg. And to buy that gift card could not be easier. Just pick the gift card you want to purchase, put in your payment info, and within 3 to 5 minutes, it will be delivered to you by your email, or you could find it on your rushbuy.gg account. And that's great news, but we have even more. Rushbuy.gg and myself have partnered up, and we're giving away not one, not two, not three, but 5 $10 gift cards. All you need to do is sign up, make an account, all of this is free, and once you've done that, comment below your rushbuy.gg user ID. To give back to their fans, they're having a massive year-end mega bonus, and that is officially live now. So what you could do is, instead of buying one gift card, let's just say you buy two $50 gift cards, they're giving you an extra $10 gift card absolutely free. I'm not even kidding. I feel like this website was curated for me and gamers like you. So shout out to rushbuy.gg. Go check out their website. We're doing giveaways, and you might just find something over there you might like. So quickly, let's recap what the initial rumor was so we can base our new information off of that. These posts had popped up a couple different places. I think I had a different source last time, but we're just going to go off what Nintendo said. I can confirm the smaller capacity Switch 2 game cards are in production, but due to chip shortages, it will take time before we see widespread availability. Despite the smaller capacity, these cards will still be expensive due to rising cost of materials. Game key cards are not going away. So this kind of mirrored what the other source that I read said, but another report, and if I can find it, I will put it on the screen. They were saying that 16 gigabyte cartridges will cost like $16 or $17, and the 32 gigabytes would cost $24. I'm not so sure about the prices, and even if those prices are set in stone due to memory and chips and all this stuff, the prices are rising drastically, like not a little bit, drastically. So even if this was true, which we now know it is, and we'll talk about that in a moment, it doesn't mean like it will even be the smart option. You know what I mean? Some of this stuff might be more expensive towards like, why would I pay double or something just not to have a game key card? So then we got some information directly from a publisher, very exciting stuff. And then maybe the same day Nintendo had them take down that information, which confirms that it was true. But yeah, let's break this down. Not only does this confirm that this is true, I think it tells us when we'll start seeing this, hopefully from other developers and publishers. So I actually haven't did this thing where like I read on the screen with you guys in a while. But for what we're reading right now, I think it makes sense to react to this together. So this is from ININ. I really don't know how to pronounce that. But there is a new game called R-Type 3 Dimensions, or R-Type Dimensions 3, whatever. I don't know much about the game. It does look pretty interesting though. But initially, it was going to be a game key card, right? And you can see right here, game key card, now a cartridge. We're happy to share a positive update regarding the Nintendo Switch 2 version of R-Type Dimensions 3. We could recalculate the production in a way that wasn't possible before. As a result, we've made the following decision. The entire European and US production of R-Type Dimensions 3 for Nintendo Switch 2 will be released on a full physical cartridge. And I think in the original thing they had leaked out, they even said Nintendo's offering 2 different cartridge sizes now. So they basically re-released that same statement, just took out that tidbit of information. A little downside to this positive news: the price of the retail and special edition of the Nintendo Switch 2 version will increase by 10 euros or $10 due to the still higher production cost. However, as a small thank you to our early supporters and early pre-order customers, all early pre-order customers of the special edition will receive the game on cartridge at the original price they ordered. So shout out to that, I guess. So this gives us some information, but let's look at the actual product. So this is the special edition right here, which is $200, right? Where is the actual game? So this is a Nintendo Switch 2 Special Edition, which is now going to be a full game on cartridge. Shout out to that, very cool. So this was originally $59.99, and that is the same price as the PS5 version. But now, due to them using these cartridges, it is now $69.99. So that's the tax we're probably going to see with a lot of these games moving forward. It's not the end of the world, right? $10 more to have a true physical. I hate even saying it because maybe publishers or developers didn't have to do this, but I know there's people like me that are like, yeah, I'll pay $10 extra. And they're like, whoa, we can make $10 extra or maybe even more for not doing a lot. Let's just do that. And then they'll buy it. But $10 extra, I would pay that to have a true physical. Like I said, I don't know much about this game, so I'm not sure if this is something I would personally pick up. But again, I think this actually tells us when we will start seeing these. But around April or May, we should start seeing more publishers and developers who maybe were originally going to use game key cards start using true physicals. I'm trying to look on Steam quickly to see if I can see how many gigabytes this game is. 10 gigabytes available space. So this is 10 gigabytes. So that would mean that they used a 16 gigabyte cartridge. And if that's the case, and what we were reading earlier is they're going to cost $16. So they paid $16 and are charging you $10 more. I don't know the profit margin. I don't know how it is to publish and develop games, like how you're supposed to be making money. I don't know. But I do know that this can now fit on that cartridge, right? This is 10 gigabytes. Would it make sense for them to get a 64 gigabyte cartridge and waste over 40 gigabytes of storage? It doesn't. There's no way that that makes sense. So then you got to say, well, if there's no other option, we're using a game key card. Blame Nintendo. And they would have been right. So do I think the trade-off, $10 extra is good for this? I'd say it's fair. You know what I mean? I forgot whose video I was watching. I want to say Spawnwave kind of broke down the same thing I'm talking about and probably did a better job. But he also said he's going to pre-order this and he's going to open that cartridge because this would be the first 16 gigabyte and 32 gigabyte cartridges, like the first generation of them. He wants to see if the price makes sense, if they're using all the storage or whatever. So I'm also very curious to see that as well. But it's weird, man. You know, normally this wouldn't even be an issue, but it is. But then on top of that, we have to deal with memory prices and storage. The prices are going through the roof because of AI buying up everything, right? Buying all the computer parts. I'm hearing SD cards are even going to go up, micro express SD cards. All this stuff is going to raise substantially in 2026. So then we have to remember they're factoring in the prices as they are right now. In 2026, if the prices raise even more, again, would it even make sense to do this? Or do they just say, damn, we shot ourselves in the foot. We should have did a game key card and just called it a day. I know you've heard it from a million other people, but not a big fan of AI. You know what I mean? It's here. It is what it is. I'm not the biggest fan of it. But I cannot wait, truly cannot wait for this AI bubble to pop because it's affecting everything, truly everything, right? I gotta hop in while I'm editing right here. I had another thought. I wonder if this happens, right? And there is 2 different cartridge sizes and everything is looking that way. Will publishers re-release games, say Street Fighter 6, Hitman, Hogwarts Legacy, Sonic, all these games that already came out for the Switch 2 and are game key cards? Maybe they didn't sell as good as they hoped. So will they re-release those games on true physical cartridge and just tax you $10 more, right? Some of those games were like 40 and 50 bucks. That was the retail price. Will they re-release them at $60 and $70, but they're true physicals and people will actually want to buy them? I wonder, because I would actually probably go out and buy some of these games I've skipped because they are game key cards and just pay $10 extra. I think this is some of the best Switch news we have ever got, and that sounds crazy, but it's like all these variables made it that way. So yeah, we'll see. Shout out to them for leaking all this information. I really hope other publishers and developers and whoever will really follow suit moving in 2026, because I have truly bought more Switch games physically than I have from my Switch 2 the year the Switch 2 came out. Kind of crazy. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. If you made it all the way to this part of the video, all the way at the end, hit a like and subscribe, dude. My end of the year goal is 24,000 subscribers. Maybe, possibly, we could even hit 25,000 now. And make sure you go check out rushbuy.gg so you can win some eShop gift cards and get some other cool stuff at discounted prices. And you guys know me, I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.